opening statement from Coach Matson, and then questions for the student athletes, please.
Yeah, I think it was a great game of hockey. I think those are exactly what championship moments that's exactly why you come to Carolina. It's exactly what you want to see in college sports, a game like that. And I think our heels gave it their all for the entire 60 minutes and however long we were in overtime. Genuinely, I am extremely proud of the way they played, but also the way they carried themselves the entire game after the game in this room right now. They make me extremely proud to be their coach. I had one of the girls look me in the eyes after the game, and it wasn't in a rash statement or high emotion. She looked me in the eyes and very calmly said, "This was the best year of my life," and that it was transformational for her. And that is exactly why we do this. Like I said, I'm proud to be their coach, and the way they played today was beautiful hockey. It's not the outcome we want for Tar Heel Nation. It's not the outcome these guys want. But if we detach from that outcome, I'm extremely proud of today and just who they are as people.
Questions for the student athletes? Right.
I know y'all have faced Northwestern in 2022 and 2023 as well. If I could just ask about, emotions coming out and going into this game, knowing that kind of history there, what was kind of going into this game and coming out of it as well, what was kind of the impact of that?
Ryleigh. I think that we were going to the game thinking just about us, what we were going to do. We had a standard and what we wanted, we had a game plan, and we just wanted to work as hard as we could, and we all had trust in each other. We all wanted the best for each other. We wanted to work for each other, and I think it was a great battle. We know Northwestern, we played them before, like you said, and they're obviously a very similar team than they were before, and we were ready, and it just wasn't what we wanted at the end, but I think we still fought as hard as we could and did the best we could.
Let her answer that question.
Yeah, I agree. I think these are games against Northwestern, always good games, always hard-fought battles. We know what we can expect. We know we have to fight for it, and I do believe, like Erin said, we left everything we had on the field, and it wasn't the outcome we wanted, but we had a good mentality going into the game, and I think it showed on the field as well. But yeah, you have that rivalry because you play them in these kind of situations, so you have the extra fight.
Sietske, can you describe to me what happened on the last goal and how you saw it play out, the game-winning goal?
Yeah, to be honest, it's kind of a blur a little bit of what happened. We know they have fast players. They use their speed. And then it's just in the moment decision making, and if I could do it again I wouldn't do the same thing, but it's you just kind of play intuitively, and that's kind of it.
You go off your foot?
I think so, yeah. I think I tried to just get a touch on it, I knew there were people behind me, I tried to just get out of the circle. I knew she was going to play that ball. And unfortunately, the touch was into my own foot, I'm pretty sure, and just went into the goal, unfortunately.
I think it was Maddie Zimmer is one of the fastest players we've ever played against. Her in space, overtime is her game. And she turned the Jets on, and it was a numbers down situation for both seats and our keeper. I think they both made the right decision. I don't think any decision, unless the ball is cleared out of the circle, is necessarily a wrong one. So one of those situations you don't want your players to be in, and when they're in there you have full trust, and you don't look back.
First of all, I just want to say congrats on a really great season, and I guess for both of you guys, and again, really hard to kind of be asked this just right now, but as seniors, just if you could speak to just what your experience here at UNC has been like, and playing for Coach Matson, and what that's meant to you guys.
Just thinking back the past 4 years, I've definitely grown into a leader. Never thought I'd be a captain for UNC, and here I am this whole year. I just learned what it takes, and I couldn't have done that without Erin and all the coaching staff and the players around me. Carolina program is just such a amazing place to be at and to learn and just to grow as a person and player on and off the field, and I'm just so happy that I could say that I am part of that family. And you know, it's just not obviously where we wanted to end up, but we like pressure. Like Carolina gives you the opportunity to play with pressure, and you know, like that's one of the best feelings you can have as an athlete, and I'm so grateful that I had that chance. And just how I am today is just, I would never be like this unless I went to Carolina. So
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like going to UNC, playing for UNC field hockey, it gives you the opportunity to grow as a person, and it's not just about field hockey. And we love field hockey, and we love that we get to play under pressure and we get to play in these kind of games. And but besides the field hockey part, it shapes you as a person, and Erin makes that happen, and she is a great person to look up to, and she teaches you so many things that are not just related to field hockey and that you can have for the rest of your lives. And the wins are the wins, and we love to win, but even without the wins, you still have so many things that you get taught during these seasons and that you get to bring with you for the rest of your life.
One more question. Last two.
Erin, you're now in your third season as head coach. What are some of the things that you're continuing to learn as you gain more experience doing this job?
Yeah, I think it's been a personal journey for myself. I think it's been a professional journey. I think the beauty is that it's been both of those separately and also conjoined. I learn something new from these guys every day. The field hockey side of it, you guys know, we'll look at the X's and O's. We look at international hockey, we'll implement things we see. The field hockey side is the easy part. My job is to be a motivator, to be somebody who shows these guys that confidence is power and kindness is strength. So I genuinely learn tons from them just on how to be a better person myself, how to be a better coach and a leader. Obviously, logistically, our job is fun because every season is different, every weekend is different, every game is different. It keeps you on your feet, it's solving puzzles, and you have to evolve with it. So there's the obvious lessons that the season teaches you, but I think the most meaningful ones are the ones that I learned from these guys and the amazing staff I have, or our parents, the coaches, family that Carolina provides. You know, I'm lucky to be surrounded by great people, and I'm constantly learning.
Yeah, every team in a semifinal game since 2011 with a 2-goal lead has won. What do you guys think that Northwestern did well today for that not to be the outcome?
I think we knew Northwestern, we could never get comfortable. You hear it during every single game when we go up. If it's 1-0 up, if it's 6-0 up, we say 0-0. That's our mentality. If you have the 0-0 mentality, obviously you're protecting your cage, and it takes care of the defensive side of it, and at the same time it keeps you hungry, keeps you wanting to score and create attacking opportunities. So I think our girls, I could see the look in their eyes. They were never complacent, they were never comfortable, they never got ahead of themselves, they were present the entire game. And that was one of the big messages that we tried to harp today going into the game and then throughout the game, so we proudly executed that. And then, yeah, props to Northwestern. I think on a similar front, they never gave up. I think, you know, they stayed hungry. They finished the opportunities they needed to. Their corners are threatening. We knew that going in, so I think they just executed. But like I said in the opening statement, I think it was a very exciting and even matchup from the attitude side of things, where our girls stayed pretty level-headed and Northwestern kept the fight.
Just another one for both of you guys. The players, you guys talk so much, and Coach Matson was just talking about like the lessons and things that you guys will, I guess, take from this. As you look over just the past 4 years at UNC, maybe what's the best memory or biggest lesson that you feel like you guys are taking away?
I think for me it's leadership. I've grown like a lot in leadership, and I've made steps and I've been taught things that are going to be valuable for the rest of my life. And I think for me the biggest lesson is how to just work with people, like your teammates, get the most out of your teammates and be honest and create that bond, and knowing how to talk to people, how to get the most out of them, and it's something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
I definitely learned too many things, but if I could pick one, I would say just, controlling my emotions, and just how to be a mature, professional or collegiate player, what to do outside the field, how to carry myself, how to show the younger and the youth what to do and what not to do, and just how to push them and encourage them to be better and just to bring them along with me. And I think that created me into becoming a leader, and definitely just I can carry that forever. So.
Anything else for student athletes?
I really quick before that question gets wrapped up, I would just like to emphasize to everybody the fact that the 2 lessons these guys are taking away are about other people, and that's why they were the captains of this team, because both of them said that they will take away skills to make others better, and that's how we run this program.
Last one.
For you two, what were the emotions going up against a former teammate who helped you win a national championship today? Who helped you win a national championship before she transferred to Northwestern, and you're playing against her today?
Honestly, I don't think we pay much attention to that. We see Northwestern as a team, and we would treat her as any other player on their team, and obviously we watch film, we watch scout, but I don't think a lot of thought really goes into that specifically.
Yeah, I think we just had a game plan and we knew their strengths and weaknesses, and we went into the game thinking, how are we gonna succeed and be better each quarter? No thought on just other situations with it.
We have time for 2 questions for Coach. Here, one there.
And Northwestern had, I think, 10 penalty corners that kind of seemed to help them get back in the game. Can you talk about the impact that had on the outcome there?
We knew defense was going to be huge in this game, and I think we played the best defensive effort that we had all season from everybody. I think we've had games where one person stepped up or another's put the team on their back and the defensive unit on their back. But these guys, I think every single one of them came up with big-time tackles, big-time interceptions, or just were tightly marking and doing things, that don't necessarily are noticed by everybody. So I think as a unit, I'm really proud with it. But Northwestern still created opportunities, and like we said, I think the penalty corners are a strength of their team. And they were able to put some away, but we gave up 10 too many in an ideal world, but it's a game of inches, and I think they created enough to get penalty corners and execute on them, but I would stay focused on just how strong we played defensively. I think that takes a lot for me to say after some just a lot of growth throughout the season, so I'll choose to focus on that.
Last 2 here.
And just after that, the game winner, kind of just what were the emotions in that sort of moment that kind of radiated from that moment?
Yeah, I think they're still here. They're still fresh. I think you're seeing them. Proud of the game that we played. I'm proud of how they stuck together. It's, I think one of the biggest joys of coaching, and that you want every coach to feel, is when you look in your players' eyes and they believe in themselves, they believe in each other, and they're ready to just go after it. And there's not one person or one moment this game that I can think of where there was doubt or anything of that nature. And I think that's what I was focused on, and that's why I'm proud of how they performed and carried themselves throughout the game, because they were all in it and they did a great job and they executed the game plan. And sometimes things just don't go your way. But I would say also just being proud of these guys, the way they led this team through the season, and then also the senior class. I'm proud of my staff. You guys know how phenomenal my staff is, whether that's the coaching staff or all of our managers, the support staff, our medical team. I have all of the support, and that makes a difference. So just making sure everybody else was also proud of the last however many hours and this whole season.
Last one.
Coach, you talk a lot about the seniors, and rightfully so, but you've got a lot of young players that come back after something like that. Can you just sort of speak to that, her sister, and that dynamic?
Yeah. I think there's not many programs who have a freshman in goal in overtime in the semifinals, and a freshman up front as part of the 7 you're picking to put out there. I think that speaks to the two of them, and also just the freshman class and the underclassmen in general, who are so dedicated. They're bought in for the right reasons. They've had these guys to learn from, this season. And I remember me being a freshman and having stars and just good people and good leaders to learn from that young. And they're now carrying lessons that these guys left with them and the upperclassmen left with them throughout their entire time here at Carolina. But it also speaks to just their fearlessness, their relentlessness, their growth through the season. We knew we had the vets and the experience, but we also knew we had a lot of question marks and a lot of new faces on the team. And I think every single person who came back from last year and who we added to this roster had an incredible role in this season, no matter what age or year they were. So it gives us a lot of confidence and comfort, and again, just overall pride for the succession and how these guys lead each other.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, joining us from Northwestern is head coach Tracey Fuchs, Ashley Sessa, and Maddie Zimmer. We'll start with an opening statement about the game from Coach Fuchs, and then questions for the athletes first, please.
Thanks for coming, everybody. First of all, my hat's off to Carolina. I thought that was an amazing hockey game. That game could have gone either way all game. They played a hell of a game, but I'm really, really proud of the way our team battled that entire 60 minutes, being down not once, twice. I don't know how many times we were down because I haven't looked, but really, really proud of the resilience that we showed today. It was unbelievable, and to get these guys to another final game, I couldn't be more grateful.
Questions for Ashley in the front row and then back row. Go ahead.
Ashley, what were the emotions going against a lot of former teammates today? What was that dynamic, and then to get the game winner?
Yeah, I actually didn't have the game winner. That was Grace Schultz. I didn't touch it.
Gotcha.
But it just means a lot playing against such competitive competition, and I'm still friends with a lot of girls on those teams, so it's hard to see, but it's great to see them and play such amazing competition again. But I think we just showed how strong we are as a team and our connection together, just to be down and put those in the back of the net when it really matters.
row right here.
How does it feel to fight out of the deepest hole you've been in all season?
Oh, we love it. We're called I do. Cardiac Cats. Repeat it. No. I think it is a stressful thing, but we practice those situations in practice, so we're kind of used to it. And we have all the trust in our teammates. Like Ilsa Trump, I trust her 100 times to take that shot on a corner and score.
Maddie, can you answer that?
Yeah. Wait, can you repeat the question one more time? Sorry. I was listening to Sessa's answer.
What did it feel like to fight out of such a deep hole?
I think one thing about our team is that we never give up. I think that definitely showed today, but you could see it even in the first huddle. We're down 2-0 the first quarter, like not exactly how you would like to start. But we were able to claw our way back, stick to what we do best. And I mean, yeah, I would like to not have such a stressful game, but I could not be prouder of how we pulled through.
Yeah, for the players, can you sort of describe the last 15 seconds there? Carolina had an open net and missed it, and then you guys had the run out. Just sort of walk us through what you're thinking, what you're doing there.
Yeah, I think, well, for me, I had kind of been like biding my time until we actually got possession. I think we played a lot of defense in that first overtime. And as soon as Ilsa's on ball, we practice overtime quite a lot. Thanks, Tracey. So we knew exactly what we needed to do. Our forwards were in excellent scoring positions. And it's amazing to know that my team backs me to take those moments on and, try to make something happen.
And then Ashley, I mean, the official scorebook says you on the last goal. You say great.
Great. I didn't touch it. Yeah, that's all great.
That's what I love about it. Go ahead.
Maddie, you found Olivia towards the end of the third quarter to cut that lead to 1, and it was a great find. What was the energy like on the bench and amongst the team knowing that you were still in it? You were just 1 goal away.
Yeah, first of all, I have no idea how she tipped that in. That was not on the ground, and I'm actually so amazed by that. But I think that's really a turning point for us. That was, okay, we're 1 goal away. There's still a lot of time left. The bench has just been amazing all season. Our entire team brings so much energy regardless of what the score is. And honestly, being able to kind of get that goal, look over to see all of your teammates like so hyped for you, it's a really cool feeling, and it gives you that little bit of edge that you need when you're really, really tired at the end of the game.
Over here and then over there.
Maddie, you're on corner defense, and so UNC in that first overtime, just an onslaught of corners. How were you guys able to stay composed and defend each and every one of them, knowing that each attempt could be the game winner?
Yeah, I mean, credit to Georgia Holland. She does so much scouting, and she's an incredibly smart coach. And we just prepared so much for all of that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just trusting what Georgia tells us to do, trusting our instincts. Ryleigh's a great player, and just trying to keep her in front. And, Jules and Ilse and Lau are all back there. So knowing that they're behind me, I can, kind of fly out there and kind of no fear type of thing.
Right here.
You just mentioned some of that scouting prep work with Coach Holland. Can you walk me through kind of what that looks like? What have you guys been talking about leading up to this week? Was that something that you guys were talking about right in that moment? Just describe that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's pretty routine. It's something that I'm sure every team does, but, Georgia's incredibly in-depth with it, and that really helps in those moments when I know I've got her voice in the back of my head, just telling me what I need to do. And, yeah, it varies game to game depending on opponent, but at the end of the day, our basics are the same, and it is all about just trusting your instincts in those moments.
And first of all, congrats on the win. I guess for Ashley, and then I'm also curious for Coach Tracey, just what's it like, I guess, going against a team that's coached by a former teammate? You guys played together in 2022, and then for Coach Tracey, just maybe what this matchup against Matson and UNC, both as a player now as a coach, just, I mean, it seems like you guys are always meeting in the tournament like this, and so I'm just curious for both of you guys to hit on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great to see people I played with, still friends with some of them, so get to say hi before the game and even after, shake hands, and just really express how well they've played, and they put out such a hard-fought battle, and I just think seeing them it's great. It's good to see them, but I'm happy we pulled out on top, and we got one more game, so we're gonna learn from that game, and we're gonna move on to Sunday.
Yeah, I think, not to give me PTSD, but going back to that game we played them 2 years ago where we lost in a shootout, I think everybody was ready for the next year to have that rematch game, and it didn't happen. So I think it's, great for USA hockey. I think this game was one that a lot of people wanted to watch and see the rematch from that game. And, Maddie watched that game, and after the game, she was like, when I come back, we got him. And she did that today. So, it's a rivalry, but I think, it's just two incredible programs going head to head every single year. And I think that respect makes the game even bigger. And that's, again, something I'm grateful for.
Last two questions for the athletes.
Can both of you maybe speak to, I think you guys had 10 corners and you were able to capitalize on a couple of those. I think that was like the most UNC's given up all season. Can you talk about the impact that made and kind of helping you guys' offense and get back into that game?
Yeah, I can go. Definitely on the attack, they did a very good job on defense. So I think instead of we weren't going to get these like wide open shots off, so we decided to just find a foot, get a corner, and have a better chance of scoring on a corner. And that's, I think we did execute very well when needed on those attack penalty corners.
Yeah, I think we knew coming into this game, such an even matchup, like it's going to come down to penalty corners. And I think, that's definitely what was showcased, in regulation and also overtime. I would back Ilse Trump to flick against any goalie in the country. And when you've got, such great rebounders and stick stoppers and inserters, we're not going to get all of them off, but there's a pretty good chance. And I'm really, really proud of the attention to detail that we had today.
Last one for the athletes.
In overtime, y'all had a few kind of run out spurts where, get down there and then turn it up. But eventually, the sudden death overtime goal, you were able to break through. How were you able to kind of maintain that stamina and break through in that moment after those opportunities?
Yeah, it was a lot of defense, but we were fine with that. I think the key for us was to not panic that we didn't have the ball. Just kind of play good defense, be patient, bide our time a little bit, and then I didn't really want to go to a second overtime. I was kind of tired. So as soon as we were able to win the ball and secure possession, it was really important to capitalize on that. And again, it's a complete team effort. So I'm really, really proud of the defense we played and how we were able to turn it into offense.
Thank you. I'll have someone bring you guys back to your lap.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Front row to the left.
Coach, they mentioned the comeback. Just talk about you watching your players battle through that. You guys had not given up much in the first quarters all year, and sort of give up two today, and just seeing your team battle back just from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, I think, in my mind, I thought we were playing well. They came in one time and scored and then got a corner and scored, and that could really, really deflate a team. But, when you have people like these two and people like Grace, who's been around for 5 years, both with Princeton and us, and, Maya and Ilsa, I trusted that they weren't going to throw the game plan out the window. We were generating attack. We weren't capitalizing, but things were going okay. And, I knew once we got within one goal twice that there was definitely a chance. So we do practice a lot of pull the goalkeeper and all of that. So I'm really excited it paid off today.
Back row and then.
Coach, it's almost like you can't write this better in Hollywood. You get a chance to right the ship against the team that upset you earlier on in the regular season. What does that mean for you as a head coach to have that opportunity to right that wrong?
Yeah, one, first and foremost, I'm just right now really, really happy we're in the final game. I think Princeton played a great game today as well. It's exciting. That is the one team that beat us. They're a great team. They have some amazing players. So it's going to be another battle. And, Carla worked for me at Northwestern. So You know, she's a great friend, and we're just going to go out and put our friendship aside and go head to head, beat each other up a little bit, and then give each other a hug, and whatever happens, happens.
Coach, what was your message to the team at halftime, or what were some of the things that players were talking about in terms of adjustments they'd make after that break?
Yeah, I think really settling in our defensive circle. We were a little bit jumpy, which caused a few corners, and just, you know, when we get the ball, possess it, mix up the aerial. I thought we threw them maybe when we shouldn't have, and didn't throw them when people were open. So just using a little bit more variety with our passing coming out of the backfield, and I think, and then still be relentless on our press, which is what makes us go. I think Liv and Grace and Sessa, their pressure on the ball is amazing, and really forces the other team into some difficult situations.
Coach, Ashley insisted that wasn't her goal, but it's still officially credited as hers.
Yeah, we'll switch that. Great. They kicked, the other team kicked it, and Grace passed it across, and it hit the kid's foot. So we'll get that taken care of. But that's the character that we have. Like, nobody cares. No, it wasn't me. I'm like, you sure didn't touch it? But, you know, Sessa makes us go. She's got an amazing shot. Grace is our workhorse as well as Liv. And then you got players like Erin and Piper who come in and give really, really valuable minutes up front. And I thought everybody just, you know, played as hard as they could today.
Coach, of course, the penalty corner situation wasn't what you were expecting. 1 for 10 on the day, 0 for 5 in the third quarter.
I think we were 2 for 10.
2 for 10 on the day.
Right.
Excuse me.
That's okay. So changes the percentage a lot.
What did you see went wrong today against UNC, and what are you going to try to correct going into the Princeton?
Yeah, I think they played a really good defense. They changed their defense, which they haven't done all year. They ran a double fly, which was a good call against Ilse's drag flick. But, you know, I say in order to win a national championship, you have to be 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 corners, about 20 to 25%, which is what we were. We don't win today without Ilse's last goal. But there definitely were some miscues, misstop. We had a miscue when we had 2 of our main people out. So that's the stuff we just need to tidy up, and that's on me. I need to make sure those people that are getting in the game get their reps and are able to perform as well. But, you know, I'm happy we drew 10 corners. I'd like to go 3 or 4 for 10 on Sunday.
Coach, during the fourth quarter, UNC has the ball running out the clock for a majority of the period, just 1 shot in the first 13 minutes. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I knew, you know, we knew we were going to pull the goalkeeper around 5 minutes. And then we did get control of the ball. And at that point, you just hope that we can get around the outsides, maybe force them in a mistake and get a corner. And I think that's what happens. And, you know, when you're a man up, you can double team all over the field. And it puts the pressure on the other team. I mean, they came right back down, which we need to talk about, and got a corner with 50 seconds left. Like, that's not our characteristic for us. So that's something we'll try to clean up. You know, the next 2 minutes after you score is when you're most vulnerable in any sport. So we'll clean that up for Sunday, hopefully. Or just not let them score so that we can.
1 and 2.
Coach, I mean, we mentioned Ilse's goal with less than 2 minutes left. Kind of like, what was going through your head during that goal, and like knowing that that was probably one of the team's last chances to tie it up?
Yeah, that was you know, we called that one in from the sideline, and it's a tough call. They were running good fly lines. You know, it's one where you have to execute, and Maddie runs it right and then goes behind her back to Ilse, and they just executed it perfectly, and it was a beautiful shot. So we knew if she'd just get something on goal, we'd have rebounders, but we didn't need them for that one, which was nice.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Coach, I'm curious, what are you doing tomorrow? Like, what do you guys do in this day between, like, what does the team do to prepare for that game, having a day off?
I don't know, does Duke have a basketball game or something?
Football tonight.
Football, no. No, I mean, the coaches will be worried. You know, you don't know who you're playing for tomorrow. For the players, they need to come down, relax. They'll do a lot of recovery with our strength and conditioning coach, and really just kind of debrief this game. I don't want to say quickly, thoroughly, but quickly. so that we can then turn our focus tomorrow to Princeton. And we'll come out, we'll have the lightest practice, we'll go through corners attack and corner defense, what we think we'll run and what we'll run on defense, and just let them relax. Hopefully they'll get 8 to 10 hours of sleep tonight, and I'll get 5 to 7. That would be a great thing right now.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you everybody, appreciate you all.